My thesis focuses on language death, a problem we do not often talk about that threatens the linguistic and consequently cultural diversity of the whole world. Indeed, we know that of the about 6,900 languages spoken in the world, half have already disappeared, and as foreseen by UNESCO, about 2,000 languages will be extinct within 50 years. Specifically, linguistic extinction is the process that leads to the gradual or sudden disappearance of a language. Although in most cases these are minority languages of which sometimes there is not even a written documentation that are no longer used and transmitted due to the spread of stronger and more influential languages, there are actually several reasons why a language dies. In their book, Vanishing Voices, Daniel Nettle and Suzanne Romain tells us about three types of linguistic extinction. The first one is due to the disappearance of an entire population. The second one is due to a language shift imposed through colonization and territorial conquests. And lastly, the third one is a voluntary language shift that occurs when a community perceives that speaking a more common and prestigious language would improve the life conditions of its members. Among the contributory factors, there is globalization. As a matter of fact, globalization has led to the spread of a more generic culture around the world, with English as the most important language. Many lesser used languages have therefore found it difficult to compete and survive. However, the disappearance of a language does not only involve the loss of words, grammatical constructs, and sounds. In fact, language, as well as being a means of communication and interaction between individuals, defines and distinguishes people and tells and passes on their history. Losing a language means depriving oneself of the major tool with which a culture expresses itself more directly. It means losing part of the linguistic and cultural heritage. Idioms, ideas, customs, traditions, discoveries would be lost. As the linguist David Crystal states in his book Language Death, languages contribute to the totality of human knowledge, as each language contains a vision of the past, present, and future. Therefore, although it is common to believe that the disappearance of a language only affects the community who lose it, in reality the impact it has on all of us is real and significant. The importance of protecting endangered languages, even if spoken and understood by small groups, has been grasped by many organizations working to promote their revitalization, increase their domains of use, and collect and share information useful for their preservation. The communities themselves, in an attempt to safeguard their language, implemented language immersion programs, whose success presupposes elements such as the presence of speakers, the commitment of the whole community, and financial support. One example comes from Hawaii, where the language, initially supplanted by English, has seen a strong revival, thanks mainly to the idea of some scholars to create a preschool immersion program that would allow children to take lessons entirely in the Hawaiian language. In conclusion, we can state that although there are many strategies adopted at institutional level, they are not enough without real support from the communities. In particular, the role of the new generations is of primary importance. They are considered the real means for the effective transmission and preservation of endangered languages, and without their positive response, any attempt would be in vain. It is therefore essential to raise awareness about the importance of this assumption, in the conviction that linguistic diversity is a global asset and a tool for a better intercultural connection that makes us understand the uniqueness that distinguishes each language and consequently its values, its culture, and its traditions.